What's going on? What's going on? You already know what time it is. This is your boy, the historian. We're going to definitely get down to it. Today, we got the pregame meal for you. We're going to get this thing started just right. So, y'all sit back, relax. We got you covered. Let's go. BirdCage. Welcome to another edition of the pregame meal. This is your boy, the historian. We got you covered tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, I definitely can't wait for this game tonight. The Falcons and the Titans have been chirping all week. And as we said, Calvin Ridley came in with ex-girlfriend type vibes. Hate to say it like that, but hey, it's just what it is. This is what we call it. So while we sit back and we examine what's going to take place this week, we also have to look at the fact that we still have guys that are fighting for positions on this team. And when I say fighting for positions, I mean, we got to have capable backups. From what I saw last week, defensively, we look great. But the offensive line at this point, all I can do is just sit back and say, what the hell? That's literally what I can say is what the hell. But you know what? I can't be too mad about it because at this stage of the game, it's just, I don't know why. StreamYard to StreamYard. And hold up. Let me pop out and pop back in. I apologize about that, ladies and gentlemen. StreamYard is StreamYard. And again, like I said, it's the preseason right now, but we have some things that we're definitely going to get into today. I'm going to drop the link so the fans can come in here momentarily. But sitting back thinking about what we saw last week, unfortunately, the game ended because of an injury. Definitely very excited that the young man that got hurt last week, Mr. Norris, is doing better, walking around, showed up to the facility, doing well. Hopefully we don't have any injuries of that significance this week and we can continue to stay healthy. Now, looking at it, I wonder if they're going to play CJ Henderson tonight because, again, former first-round pick, guy's been passed around to a couple of teams. We got him yesterday, signed him, and we definitely look forward to seeing what he's going to bring to the table because his job isn't guaranteed. He's a guy that's been brought in, and at this point, it looks more so like how can I put it? More so as a role of this guy being a role player for us. Now, when I sit back and I look at what the Falcons are bringing to the table, my main concern tonight is being able to run the football. Can we run the ball? Now, if we can run the ball tonight, I think it goes well with our passing game because we've seen that we have more than capable backups at that receiver position. Casey Washington looks like he's going to be a viable replacement player. And then you also have DJ Chalk. I wonder if they're actually going to use him or they're going to let him sit. But Drummond is definitely a guy you have to look out for coming out this week. And he's been in his bag is what we would say. And when you look at Drummond came up, had the biggest game. And then you had right behind him, you had Chris Blair. So, again, that's another guy that you got to keep your eye on. This wide receiver room is very talented. And if we have somebody to go down, you see that we have capable replacements, which is something that we definitely need. My only thing I want to see more of is the offensive line. We've got to see more offensive line continuity. We also have to see the pass blocking wasn't the problem. It was the run blocking, which was surprising. So we have an offensive line that can pass block. Then we have an offensive line who specializes in the run that's top 10 in the run, but they're mid-tier when it comes to pass protection. But I think that changes this year with our starting offensive line. I think that continuity is going to gel. The biggest question is, as we said, is Caleb McGarry. Yes, he got the extension. Yes, he got paid. However, we have to see how he's going to protect Michael Penix Jr.'s blind side. Now, we have to also see who's going to be the backup that's going to be protecting Michael Penix's blind side. So what I just did, I dropped the link in the chat. If you want to come in, I'm going to go ahead and go over to X as well and make sure that I drop the link in the chat for you guys over there too, so you can jump in if you like, and just talk about tonight, because we got the game on NFL Network. We got bumped last week in certain areas, territories, as we would say, for Shedeur Sanders, who showed out, did a hell of a job. He should be playing tomorrow, but we're mainly focusing on the Falcons, but we're also going to talk about anything that's out here that's NFL related. So you also have the Chiefs and the Seahawks playing after our game concludes tonight. So for you Alabama fans out there, if you want to see what Jalen Milroe is going to look like, you got another opportunity to see the kid play. And again, that's going to be a solid game, Seattle and Kansas City, after the Atlanta and Tennessee Titans game. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm going to call it like I see it. Maybe I might be a fan in this. I believe that the Falcons at this point right now, I think that they're pretty much going to keep it vanilla, but I think we literally pretty much put a belt to Tennessee tonight. We're going to beat them at home. Just because of all the chirping that's been going on this week, because of everything that has happened, from the fight with Michael Penix to everything else, I believe this game is going to be a little bit chippy tonight. You got a lot of emotions that are running high. You have a lot of things that are going to take place that you've got to sit back and you've got to ponder, like, hey, what the hell is going on here? Are we going to be in a situation to where we're going to see guys trying to take cheap shots? Are guys going to be in a situation where they're going to get hurt? I mean, there are so many things that you can see, because, again, Tennessee is known for starting fights. You saw what happened last week when they were with Carolina. There were a lot of fights that started. There were a lot of things that went down that shouldn't have happened. But the one thing that was proven this week was Atlanta is not going to be pushed around. You're not coming in our house, even if it's with the backups, and you thinking that it's going to be sweet. That's something that you really have to look at and say, this team didn't have it like that last year. Honest to God, Atlanta did not have that like that last year. So sitting back, paying attention to what we have an attitude on this team. We have a bit of a swagger on this team. And when you really sit back and you think about it, it's one of the beautiful things that happens when you have a culture change. You see that everyone has pretty much changed. Now, what I'm getting ready to do now is pull up the depth chart. We're going to see who's going to be playing tonight and who's a possibility. We got the link in the chat if you want to tap in. Pull up, get a plate. You know how we do here in the pregame meal. And the other thing, as we said before, I think what's really changed is just the attitude all the way around. And you got to give Raheem Morris and his staff credit, because we didn't have an attitude the way we have it. Yes, I know everybody says that we're trash and we're this and we're that, but let's just be honest. There's a lot of things that's getting ready to change. So I have the depth chart up, and I'm going to wait till this gentleman gets situated before I bring him up, because I see he's enjoying a meal, and you're not going to eat. Look, listen, I know this is the pregame meal. I know you're eating. I got to make sure you got all your food down your throat, your gullet, as the old folks would say. But definitely going to get him straight once he gets situated, because he definitely's got a plate. We got the axe handle here with us. What up, Will?
What's going on?
I see you definitely didn't want to wait till you swallowed your food before you got on camera.
You good, fam. You good. You straight. I'm just see what you up to.
You working today, or you
No,
off?
I'm off. No, I'm off, man. My chick calling, blowing me up. Talking about she got work or something. I told her, hey, I'm not bringing my food. I'm gonna help you do what you do. I'm gonna take my black ass home and lay down, because I got to be at work at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Man, you gonna look, this game started at 7 o'clock, so you got plenty of time to get your little rest before you head to work, man.
Yes, sir.
But no, I'm reviewing the chart tonight. We're gonna pretty much, I can tell you right now, we're gonna see backups tonight. I expect to see David Sills, Chris Blair, Quincy Skinner, possibly tonight Tyrone Wheatley Jr., maybe him or Jordan Williams. Elijah Wilkinson will probably get to play again. We don't know if we're going to get Javon Gwynn or we're going to get Joshua Gray to start tonight. We'll see. Kyle Hinton's going to probably end up playing again. Brandon Parker. We might get to see Jack Nelson tonight, the rookie. Might get to see him.
Yeah.
I think Nicola, let me make sure I don't butcher his name. Kalanick is going to play tonight as well. I think we get to see Joshua Simon again. They're going to put Felipe Franks out there as an emergency situation. But I think when we look at what we have tonight, we're just going to see guys fighting for jobs. So at this point, how do you feel about the attitude of the backups that we have now with this team? And how do you feel that they are in a situation now where they're trying to make a name for themselves, and not only themselves, they're really trying to carve a niche for themselves, whether it be here or whether it be in Atlanta?
They trying to, man, hey, let the competition win, the best man win. These dudes fighting for a job. They trying to get paid. They got families to feed. So hey,
Mm.
I salute to this coaching staff for getting these players comfortable, get these players ready and prepared. And nobody's job is not safe. And like you said, Kobe Bryant, he's not even playing. I understand he's dealing with a hamstring injury, but the best availability is the best. Just being out there
Best
on the field.
ability is availability. I know
Yeah, yeah,
exactly
you
what
know what
you're
I mean. Saying
talking
yeah,
about. No,
yeah. So
I got you covered. I just wanted to make sure, like I said, I got you back on this one, bro, because I'm with you on that when you talk about the availability of this team.
yeah, and this defense, man, a lot of people not giving us credit, but that coach Ole from out of Houston, he got this defensive line fired up, and that what we were missing, man. We were missing a hard nosed defensive line coach, linebacker coach from the secondary. This coaching staff out the roof, and you saying about this conditioning coach. These players ready, man. They got a chip on their shoulder this year, and I don't think no NFC team want to see us in the playoffs. I don't care if it was Philly or Detroit. They not ready. But with that being said, is I know Clark Phillips the third. He's on the bubble. They saying that he's not. I think I can't even pronounce her last name. What's her
Tori
last name?
McElhenney. Tori
Yeah,
McElhenney.
when McElhaney, she said that Clark Phillips the third might get cut, and that might be true because Clark Phillips the third kind of got a little bit too comfortable this year. I hate to say it.
I wouldn't even say he's comfortable this year. I would say more so Clark Phillips III is still trying to find his niche. Let's be honest. You've literally switched 3 defensive coordinators since he's
Yeah,
been here.
yeah, since three
So
years. Yeah,
I mean, I understand they want size. This is a guy that they drafted. It's all a part of the business. But at the
yeah,
end of the day, he's not a bad football player. That's something
got
that
you.
that's something that he's proven that he's not bad. And I think Clark Phillips III can pay dividends on this team.
Yeah,
However, it depends on how it shakes out right now because like I said, only the stronger gonna survive.
yes,
Not the
sir.
fact that he's a bad player, but
Yes, sir.
but what I like to see tonight, I'm just gonna be honest. I like to see Simeon Barrow Jr. tonight. That's the undrafted free agent defensive tackle.
Yeah,
That's out of Miami.
me too.
Defensive player of the year, one of the best in the country that didn't get drafted, which was surprising that he fell to us.
Yeah,
So for me, I'm just gonna be honest. I think Contavious Street is the one that I would let go at this point.
me too.
Street,
'Cause I mean, cause
Street is
like
it's streaky. He's too streaky for me. Not
yeah.
consistent.
Yeah, not consistent. Yeah, I agree with you, man. Cause like we need to let these undrafted rookies get a shot, a fair shot. And I think Raheem Morris and Jeff Obridge, really Jeff Obridge, gonna give these undrafted rookies chances to see what he got. Cause after this game here tonight, they cutting the roster down tomorrow, and I say let the best man win. And I want the kid out of Miami that you said from who went to Miami to win the job from defensive tackle because we missing that nasty defensive tackle. Like Coach John said, man, we need that nasty defensive tackle because we have to stop the run game this year. We face a lot of teams like the scramble. 'Cause we got to contain quarterbacks and stop the run. So we got our hands full this year, but the sky's the limits for the team. Like I said, as long as we stay healthy and the coaches put the players in the best position to win. And like you said, man, this defense looking nasty with Xavier Watts, J.C. Bates the third, DeMarco Hellums, Billy Bowman Jr. These teams about to watch out, man. I'm just saying the sky's the limit. I don't want to say get over too hype, but we know we can take one game at a time. And And like I said, I just want to see who these young players got. I'm not really worried about my starters and stuff like that. We got to
Mm.
see who else gonna fit this roster and who's gonna make plays when he needs to.
Speaking of DeMarco Hellum, sir, see, I'm not gonna let you get away with this one. See, I've been waiting for this. Now, nobody can't save you, nobody can bail you out. It's just me and you.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to explain this to you as best as I can. DeMarco Hellums
Mm-hmm.
is a headhunter. Yes.
Yeah, got you.
However,
He
his
sucks in
coverage
coverage.
is awful.
Yeah, you right though. No, you right. Cause
And
I
that
ain't
is
even cut you
something
off.
that
Go ahead.
that was something that I tried to explain. I said, no, I'm gonna wait to get on the show. And he ain't gonna have nobody in here jumping on. I'm gonna make sure I put it out there for him. But let's be honest, as a tackler, yes, I think he's a terrific talent. But as for coverage,
Mm-mm.
nah,
Nah, nah,
nah.
I agree. I agree with you on that. But like I said, I think they Nick Saban had him playing 2020, 2022. That was 3 years ago when he was playing special teams. I looked up, he really played special teams, and it was him and Brian Branch. But Brian Branch, he that head honcho, he could cover too. That what I was like, okay, I see the difference. Brian Branch, cause he could cover tight ends, the running back, and he could cover. So as a safety, you need all them tangibles. To play the strong safety role, you have to cover the half of the field, and you have to sound tackle and make critical stops. But I think DeMarco Harris would be like a more big nickel situation, or sometimes they'll put him in three safety looks if we do that. But like I say, whoever wins it out of I believe it's out of Xavier Watts or Helms. Even though Helms got to work on his coverage, but they say he's doing good in training camp so far in his coverage. Like interception the ball with Bijan Robinson out the flat, stuff like that. So I think he's got to work on this like the man to man and seam routes. That's what he got to work on in zone. As a DB, you got to learn how to do all that stuff. So
It's not just that. He just got to be better at coverage. And you trying to break
yeah,
it down. You trying to break that down. No, he just ain't good at covering one-on-one, period. That's
yeah,
something that he got to get better at. Like,
yeah,
and here's the thing. Alabama fans have what's going on, Kerry? Alabama fan, you can tap in or whatnot. The link is in on Twitter or whatnot if you want to come in and tap in or whatnot for a minute on the pregame meal. And we'll have a post-game show as well, too. As well, I do the halftime report, but you can tap
yeah.
in. These both shows today are designed for fans to tap in and fellow content creators. You can jump in and chime in with us. But I'll say this, man. When you sit back and you look at Helms in a sense, the thing that I've heard from fellow Falcon fans that are Alabama fans or
Yeah.
people that I know that I talk to on X that are Alabama fans, they will tell you tackling was never his strong. Tackling was always his strong suit. He'd run through a brick wall if he could. But
This is the
when it
coverage.
comes to coveraging, that was the
It's up.
deficiency. Brian
Yeah.
Branch covered up a lot of things for Helms. He did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
That's what I was saying. I agree with you on that.
so the thing I'm saying is, I think Helms definitely finds a place on this team. You got to have crash outs even on special teams. I think he's going to be a great backup, but I don't think he's never going to start on this squad like that because you got Xavier Watts and you also have Billy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Billy, they're moving to nickelback because he can cover and hit. My thing is he's still a safety. We call him a shooter. And he can do anything. You can line him up and have him playing anywhere. But when you look at what Helms brings to the table, you got to look for him.
Yeah.
You got to look for him.
Yeah.
And all I can say is, man, you definitely can do a few things. What's going on, Mactown Dirty? Appreciate you dropping by. Grab a plate, as we always say. But when you sit back and you really think about, appreciate you, Kerry.
Appreciate you.
When you sit back and you look at what's going on with the Falcons at this point, now I just pretty much took off the depth chart or whatnot. I'll bring it back up in a minute. But when you look at everything that's going on with this team, the attitude is different. You see that guys are hustling, guys are putting 3-4 hats on the ball. That is something that you're seeing, that guys are rallying to the football. And I like when I see a defense putting more than one person making tackles. It's nice to have open field tackles one-on-one. That's critical. But when you see guys gang tackling, rallying to get to the ball, guys hustling, guys are unselfish with their play, And when I say unselfish, they don't mind blowing up a player to allow their teammate to make a play. Selfless football. That's something that a lot of people wanted to try to crap on Jalen Walker after the first game, but it's like, pay attention to how he set the edge. Pay attention to how he dropped in the flat to pick up the guy coming out of the backfield. These are things that most rookies don't pick up on. JPJ is going to be the ass kicker, and that's going to be the guy that's going to be blitzing.
Yeah. And what you was saying about Jalen Walker, like one of my friends would be like, yeah, Jalen Walker get handled by Tennessee Titan. I'm like, that's gonna happen. He's a rookie. He's gonna get manhandled. Some offensive tackle. They get paid to do that. You know, you're not gonna beat every offensive tackle every game. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have your struggles. But the sky's the limit for Jalen Walker. He's got to just improve week in, week out, and and next year, years to come. So like he's still a rookie. The sky's the limit for him. And with that being said, man. Like I said, we need to see what these running backs could do and this offensive line outside of our main starters. Like we don't know who.
Will ended up hitting Pink Slip ended up hitting a dark area where he lost signal, but I'm gonna go ahead and keep it going. I really believe that this team as a whole, you're seeing a lot of stuff. What's going on? No, hey, Kool-Aid, we got about 60-some folks watching. A lot of the folks are coming in from the Twitter side of things, the X side of things. A lot of folks aren't on the YouTube right now. We're also getting them in on Twitter. So we're about around 60, 65. We good. No problems. But appreciate you. Kool-Aid, if you want to tap in, brother, the link is in the chat. You know how we go. But getting back to it, Will, I think what's going to be different right now, I would have to say, would be trying to figure out how we're going to run the ball and who's going to be that third string running back at this point. I think he's frozen. Hey, Will, when you get situated, I'll bring you back. There we go.
Yeah,
we can hear you. There we go.
Yeah, man, my girl calling me, man. She telling me, well, man, I'm gonna hop back on. I'm gonna help her move something out her mom's house, and I'll be back in to listen to you what you got to say. You could just exit out, and I'll hop back on. Just give me like 10-15 minutes.
Man, I'm not going nowhere. The game started at 7. We got time. Non-carry, it's a short sleeve shirt. I got a few things that I'm breaking out this year that I'm not gonna pretty much put out there. But like I said, today is just one of them days. I was just feeling a little spiffy, but I got some stuff. But all I'm saying is at this point, if we can find a flow with the running game this week, ladies and gentlemen, I really believe that right there is going to show me what kind of adjustments we made for the season. That's what I'm trying to see. What kind of adjustments adjustments for the preseason. Let me make sure I put that out there correctly. Because this week it's critical that we see who's going to be the number 3. It's going to be critical because you got to have somebody that's ready to go. Because to me, I feel like that third string spot is really one of the most important spots because you have 2 backs that we work and rotate. One of those backs go down, you got to have somebody that's there that's going to be reliable, somebody that's going to make plays, and somebody that definitely can affect this offense positively. And I think we have guys on the roster, but I'm just going to be honest. I still say if Jada Byers does not make a team, if he gets cut, or if Irv Mulligan gets cut, I say let's gamble on the HBCU players. We haven't been wrong yet. Cordero Hodge, you look at him coming out of starting off at Alcorn State and then going to Prairie View A&M doing his thing. He started off at Alcorn State and then got to Prairie View and he did his thing. You look at Chris Blair, Alcorn State guy, and when you look at it, it's one of the most beautiful things when you see how these guys perform when they get the opportunity. As I said before, you got guys that can start anywhere. What's going on, Monte Carlo? Definitely, you can pop in if you want, man. The link is in the chat, my brother. Make sure you hit that like button on the way in for me. Thank you. Pull up a chair, get a plate. But as I said before, there are a ton of guys that you can look at and you can bring in. We brought in some great undrafted free agents. What up, Artavius? What's happening? I see that, like I said, that third string That third string spot, when you look at it, is one of the best that we can say. That's one of the sweetest jobs. You ball your ass off in practice, and you go from being in practice to making sure that you're ready to go in case anything happens. Knock on wood. So when you sit there and knock on wood and you see that you have things ready to go, you don't have to get ready, because again, that third string guy is going to get playing time. It's not going to be as much, but he's going to get carries. He's going to get an opportunity, but we still have to see what the depth looks like. And Artavius, that was something that I mentioned just now. When you talk about CJ Henderson coming into Atlanta, what he brings to the table: 4.3 speed, 172 tackles, a couple of picks in his career, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery. He has the tools to do a few things. Unfortunately, he had the injury bug, and then when he left Jacksonville, he was replaced by Tyson Campbell, Georgia Bulldog, I might add. I ain't gonna lie. Anytime I get to stick it to the Florida Gators any kind of way, I'm doing it. That's just how I feel about Gator players. But I really did like CJ Henderson when he was at Florida. I think he was one of the toughest corners in the SEC and one of the best to do it during the time he was at Florida. But the one guy I want to see a little bit from is Braylon Trice. Can we see if Braylon Trice can set the edge? Can we see if he's going to rush the passer? Can we see if he's going to get sacks? There are so many things that Braylon also can bring to the table, but unfortunately, around this time last year, Braylon Trice blew his knee out. So now that he's on the rehabilitated knee, he's in better shape. He's been wreaking havoc from what I've heard in training camp. I wonder if they're going to allow him to do the same thing in the preseason. That's the main thing that we're looking for at this point. Can he do it in the preseason? But as I said again, we don't know. We'll see. Now, here's one of the things that we also have to look at. We did not get to see Emory Jones. Emory Jones, unfortunately, did not get an opportunity due to the injury that happened last week. He had a couple of drives where he put some things out there, but he didn't really get a chance to show what he could do. So when you look at Emory Jones, you see the raw ability. Here's the thing. He bounced around to a couple of colleges. I'm just going to keep it real with you. If any of my college football fans are in here, this is no diss. This is no slight to the young man. Inconsistency was his problem. Inconsistency was his problem. And that was one of the reasons why he left the University of Florida. He was supposed to be that guy. He ended up leaving. He ended up going to Cincinnati. He went to Arizona State. He's gone to a couple of schools. That is troublesome when you talk about a quarterback. Yes, he's a Georgia kid. Yes, he's a local guy that people want to see do well. But my thing is this. Easton Stick has already put his best foot out, and he's still doing it in training camp. The question is, what is Emory Jones going to do tonight if he gets the opportunity to play? Now, one of the things that's not mentioned on this roster is this. Felipe Franks is a tight end. They're putting him at tight end. However, I guarantee you this, because of his experience of playing quarterback in college, they're going to have him as an emergency quarterback. If we got to see Felipe Franks at their quarterback spot, man, that's not a look. The season ain't going to turn out well. So understand you're pretty much playing him at tight end, but he's another quarterback. So if most folks are saying, like, why the hell is he here? No, that is why he's here. He's another arm on the team. Yeah, he's going to be a practice squad QB. He's going to do some things. He's probably going to get chances on special teams to get on the field. But that is an emergency quarterback. So, again, the Falcons are stacking the deck when it comes to depth. Now, we just got to get that offensive line depth correct. And I would actually like to see what we're going to do. Tonight is going to be another eval for me when it comes to the running game and what this depth looks like. If it looks anything like last week and we have less than 100 yards rushing like we did last week, I'm at this point starting to look at who's getting cut and who's coming around. That's my thing. Who's getting cut, who's coming around. because you're going to have players that are going to get cut. This is the part of the preseason. You got guys that are putting tape out because we're going to cut guys. Everybody always does it. We're going to cut guys. We got to see who's going to bring value to this team and who's going to bring a nastiness on this backup side, because we can't have no sugar plum fairies on this backup side of the line. We really can't. So all I can say is at this point, I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to compete tonight. And outside of competing tonight, we're going to see who wants it more. That's the whole thing. Who wants it more? Because again, people have car seats in the back of their cars. People have alimony they got to pay. People have, I'm just saying, it's so many things that these guys have, and they're fighting for jobs at this point. They're competing for jobs. So when you talk about these guys competing for jobs, you're really, really looking at this point for what's going to get better. So if the running game gets better tonight, then we'll have a little bit more of an idea of what direction we're going to be going in. But if we don't have that, we just going to sit back and just say, well, you know what? Hell, it is what it is. But again, all we can do is keep our fingers crossed that no one gets hurt tonight and everybody just plays this game and goes home safely. That's the main thing. But before I continue, I got a little something. We're going to go ahead and get to a quick commercial break real quick. You know, we're already in the midst of the pregame meal, so you could disregard that, but it's a little something for everybody, and it's going to remind you that we do this every week. So sit back, relax. We got you. Be right back. Got to pay some bills. We cooking up something special for you. Hey, join us tomorrow night for the pregame meal before the Falcons game. We do this every Sunday, but we're doing it tonight. Also, right after the game, join the Party Line and Benediction postgame show. We're going to review everything. We got some things going tomorrow night after the game. We'll catch you then. You either get right or you get left. Ghost. BirdCage. Welcome back. Appreciate you for being patient. Had to put a little commercial break in there for you guys. You know, we're trying to upgrade around here. You know, we got the plates out. We got a few things, just trying to upgrade a few things or whatnot. You know, got to stay ahead of the curve, you know, keep things fresh. But I'll just say this. I think tonight is really going to show you a lot of what this depth looks like. I think next week really is going to be the final confirmation. But this is the game where you're going to see guys really putting it out there on the line. As the old folks would say, you got to bring ass to get ass. So you're going to see folks bringing ass tonight, and they're going to try to get it. It's just no questions asked. They just got to get it tonight. But getting back to it, let's look at the Tennessee Titans. Let's break it down. The Titans right now are still trying to find an identity. Brand new coach. You got some similar pieces. They got some things that they drafted. Cam Ward is the new shiny toy. I don't know if he's playing tonight. Maybe he is. Maybe he isn't. But that's the new shiny toy for Tennessee. Calvin Ridley, of course, bitter ex, you know, want to show off. But I can't sit there and give him too much grief, because if you really know the backstory of what happened to him, you really kind of look back and say, you know what? You shouldn't have been in that situation from the start, but hey, everybody makes mistakes in life. Hopefully he stays healthy, and I just hope the second half of his career is just as fruitful, just not against us. Because again, it's very hard to get to the NFL, very hard to stay in the NFL and maintain and walk away from the game when you need to. But this guy's still in his prime. He's still going to do his thing. Let's see. I'm gonna pull up the Tennessee Titans depth chart, folks, for today. I didn't pull that up. You know, like I said, this isn't scripted. This is more along for the fans to come through and jump in like Will did. So for the Tennessee Titans, their depth chart for today. 1 second, folks. Try to pull this up. Here we go. Just had to pull it up. I think Kool-Aid, good question. Very good question. I think we are going to see a little bit of Koo today, but we're also going to see a little bit of a little bit more Lenny Craig. See, I can't. How can I put it? I can't sit there and say that Lenny Craig is one of those guys that everything is going to just go away like that. But again, you got former Falcon Van Jefferson on here. Oh, we got Kool-Aid in the building. See, you asked the question and you're right in now. What's good, Kool-Aid?
Hey, what's up? What's up, man? Hold up. Let me get you.
See, you asked the question.
Yeah,
Yes,
what's
sir.
going on with you, man? I had to chime on in.
Appreciate you coming in, man. We're just pulling up I just pulled up the roster for Tennessee today and seeing some guys that we're going to probably end up seeing tonight. You'll probably end up seeing Eric Ayamore, James Prochet II, Jaquan Jackson. I remember him coming out of college, Oliver Bryce, Matt Landers he originally started at Georgia, but ended up going to Arkansas doing his thing. But you got a lot of decent players that they have as backups, but I still think our depth is going to give them problems. If you ask me if you want to be honest, Kool-Aid, I think, and dang, they got a lot of former Falcons. They got Tavondre Sweat, Timmy Horn. They got a few of these guys that played for us.
And really play for them too?
Yeah, really play for them. Really showed out in the last day of training camp before the fight broke out.
Oh wow, okay.
He made it personal when he went up against AJ Terrell. Made it real personal.
So you think that Tennessee might play some of their players that might be starters?
I don't think that they would want to risk that because of the fight that happened this week, and you look at everything that went down. I don't think that they're going to risk that, but if they do, I think that would be foolish at this point because we're not going to play any of our starters. Raheem's already been cut and dry about it, and I don't even think we see Kirk Cousins in the preseason because I think that they're going to find a way to package him off to another team, if you want to be honest, and get something for him.
So we did kick their butt in the scrimmage from what I heard, right?
Oh yeah. They offense started to pick it up, but man, we was dicing them boys up, man. Offensively and defensively.
Okay. Usually, if you put them you beat them in those scrimmages, you can do the same in the game. So
yeah,
we should have no problem tonight. Then I just was curious would they try to play some of their starters while
what's going on, Larry?
To try to get that win in, to try to get a little back.
Yeah. So Larry just came in. He said they're playing their starters for 2 series. So we're only gonna see them for a little bit. They're not gonna play much. But I even still got confidence in the depth that we have, and after what I saw defensively, Kool-Aid, I think our backups can definitely give them a problem.
So I was looking at the roster and I saw Trice in that third man coming off the bench. What you think about that? I was looking for him to be up there with Roro, man. Now when I was looking at that chart, I saw they had Rowe in the first or second string. So
I think I'll say this. I really believe that Trice is going to get playing time, but the reason he's not up there is because of the fact of you got a bunch of guys that's already started. Trice hadn't even played in a real NFL game yet. You know what I mean? He's coming off that knee injury, and I think that they're going to ease him into it, but he's definitely going to get a lot of great reps when the season happens.
Yeah. But hey, I didn't know we still had Street, man.
Yeah, we still Street holding on by a thread right now because Simeon Barrow's gonna probably end up getting his job. That's the guy I told you about out of Miami, the D tackle that was the ACC Defensive Player of the Year. He's a bad man.
Yeah. Well, hey man, he Street somewhat look like one of them guys sometimes that the team like, and they got the little favoritism trying to hold on to him for some more reason. Cause I've been watching him for the last 3 years, man. And sometimes I be sitting there just shaking my head, bro.
Well, remember this. Street ended up remember this, outside of Street, they brought back Felipe Franks. Think about that. They brought back Felipe Franks.
And he's back for real.
Yeah, he's a tight end. He's listed as a tight end. He's wearing 84. He's wearing Frank Darby's old number, 84. And Cordell Patterson.
Hey, look, man, I'm serious, man. I thought when I was looking at that roster and I saw that man's name pop up, I'm like, this cannot be for real. So I just skipped it. Just said, nah, they made a mistake. I said, AI made a mistake right there.
Ooh, it's
I
when I
said,
say it's
AI made a
true, it's
mistake.
true.
Ain't no Felipe Frank on the team.
Look, when we say it's true, it's definitely true and whatnot, man. And all you can do is just sit back and just laugh your behind off, because it's just like, well, apparently they felt like he has something to offer this team. That I don't know what it is. Just gonna be honest with you. That I don't know what it is. But we'll see.
Now,
We'll see.
Now, when Felipe Frank was playing with us the first time he came and started playing with us, and they had him at the backup quarterback / tight end, and I was pulling for him, Felipe, because I like Felipe. I mean, watching him in college, how he run, his size, and I thought that he probably could be good. You know, I don't know. I just after trying to see what they were trying to do with him back in the past, I was like, I just was surprised for them to bring him back. Well, I hope if they're gonna do it, that would be one guy. I tell you the truth, man. There'll be one guy I'd like to see play the next 2 games of that tight end.
I'll say this about Felipe Franks. The reason we're bringing him back is because of the fact that he's a bit of a Swiss Army knife. He started to become a little bit better on special teams, to be honest. And then once he ended up getting a little bit better, they're gonna have him as an emergency quarterback. In case, think about it, the only way that he's gonna get playing time at that emergency quarterback spot, and they can throw him in there because he understands the playbook, he knows how to throw the football, and he also is mobile. Now, that was something they don't talk about. They taught him how to be a tight end. So they're trying to turn him into a poor man's version of Taysom Hill. The difference is he ain't as physical as Taysom. That's just the difference.
Right.
So I think that they're keeping him around because he's an ace all the way around, because he's a Swiss Army knife. It's kind of like you being out in the wilderness or whatnot, and like you said, you go camping. You want to have that one knife that's got all the utensils, can opener, pretty much a screwdriver. You want all that. That's pretty much what he provides.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the reason they brought him back. Other than that, he would not have a Falcons uniform on.
I agree. I definitely agree.
CJ Henderson dressed out tonight, by the way. The guy that we just got yesterday, that's a former first round pick. We've taken pretty much every first round pick that came out of AJ Terrell's class. Remember, we had Jeff Okudah at one point. That was another number 1 draft pick. Just like CJ Henderson, that was a first round draft pick. And it's ironic that AJ is the only one that has staying power right now and has had the most solid career out of all those guys.
Wow.
And here's my thing. I was tough on AJ. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I was tough on him, and I'm still tough on him. I still expect AJ to still be a guy that's got to produce, but I'm looking at the fact that majority of these corners that's in your draft class, bro, have been passed around to a couple of teams now. Because think about it. This is the 5th team that CJ Henderson has been on in 6 years.
Wow.
Now, last year he had a neck injury, which kind of threw him off. You know what I'm saying? Because the Steelers took him and they felt like they were going to get something out of him. We know what Mike Tomlin can do. Man ain't never had a losing season.
Right.
And he finds ways to get guys to play better. Think about it. He got Russell Wilson paid by the Giants. Russell's still getting paid by the Broncos right now too with that money.
Right. He ain't got passed around with money in his pocket.
Right. Russell Wilson said, "Look, I got a Super Bowl ring. I done been passed around, and guess what? I'm still gonna probably end up being a Hall of Famer, even with my numbers. Say what you want. Yeah. He got a ring. He done been to 2 Super Bowls. He's been to playoff games." And this man has literally turned. I mean, think about it. Denver was bad, and then he started to turn it around at the end, and Sean Payton got rid of him. Yeah. He goes to Pittsburgh, leads them to the playoffs. You know, after Justin Fields literally had those guys 4-2 in their first 6 games, which you can't argue that he was playing well. So All I can say is it's a beautiful thing when you sit back and you see guys are having success in the league all around. But getting back to the Falcons, if this becomes a rejuvenation place for people and we get the best out of them, Kool-Aid, I'm okay with it.
Oh, sorry about that, man. Got a little feedback on that one.
I know you watching the show live. I appreciate it, my boy.
I'm trying to watch it both ways, man. While I'm on here on the TV too, bro. You know.
Man, you and my mama doing the same thing, man. Shout out to my mom. She's definitely in the chat watching. Appreciate you, mama. But
yeah,
I think what's gonna happen right now. Let me see. Jeff Okuda was in that class or whatnot. Oh, speaking of that, Monte Carlo, appreciate you bringing that up. Yeah, Bears fans are pissed off that Justin Fields left. They didn't want him to leave. Think about it, Kool-Aid. That man didn't have any weapons. Like, think about it. Caleb Williams got weapons now, and he got a defense to go along with that.
Yeah, they make it seem like they're making some more effort to try to make it easy for him. I mean, they working hard toward that. They was leaning on Field to just ride Field for a while to see what he can do, and Field tried to be that horse for him. That first year, he tried to be the horse. So,
but Caleb McGarry done shaved his head now. He ain't got no hair on his head. He bald. I'm sitting back like, wow. You know what? I'm gonna pull this up for y'all real quick so y'all can see this, man. This man going through an identity change or whatnot. He looking like the white chocolate version of Rick Ross out there. I got to pull this up for y'all. Hold up. Here you go. He's right here with the bald head. Caleb McGarry is definitely trying to make a change, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
He said he got his money. He done protected his new quarterback. He done got in a fight. Guess what? My man say he coming in here like a security guard at a bar. Shaved head and a beard.
Oh, he tried to look mean, just like you remember the little giants in that movie. They all they put everything in to try to look mean.
Oh yeah,
foaming out the mouth.
classic movie, man. Oh man.
Man. But so you think any of the stars are gonna dress a little bit, or they just gonna be still in clothes though?
I think no, they dressed out. As you can see, everybody's dressed out, as you can see. We just don't know if they're gonna play or not, but they're all dressed out. But here's my question for you, and I gotta bring this up as we always do, because we're coming to that point of the show, because we're getting close to kickoff, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta ask you, stand by real quick. We got to get to the X Factors point of the show, folks. So, Kool-Aid, who's going to be your X Factor for tonight with the Falcons in the preseason? Who do you got? Or it doesn't have to be a specific player. You could use a whole unit.
Roro gonna play tonight.
I don't know if they're gonna have. I mean, he might get a snap or two, a series or two, but I don't think that they're gonna have him playing full time. So, who's gonna be your X factor for tonight?
Well, I guess my X factor would be wide receiver.
Okay, your old position.
Yeah.
So here's the question I got for you. Since you said that, do you like how the receiver room is with the competition now after what you've seen from Drummond, Chris Blair, and I think we're gonna see a little bit of Riley Skinner, who I think is a hell of a player, and then you got Casey Washington in that room too. How do you feel with the depth with the receiver? How do you feel about the depth in the receiver room now and the competition that we're seeing now?
Well, last week only one really shine, so I was expecting a little bit more out of a couple of them that I didn't see really show anything other than my main, other than the other guy they kept pushing their name. But yeah, I still think I'm still waiting and watch right now for that. As for the starters, now I feel good about the starters. you know. So I still feel like they're gonna come in and still be just as strong as they were last year. So I don't have no problem with the starters. But
I'm about to shock the hell out of everybody. So here's a little something y'all gonna hear from me. And I don't say this too often or whatnot, but I'm a man of my word. If Kyle Pitts gets 1,000 yards this year and he's one of the top players in the league, I'll definitely get. I'm not getting a jersey. Let me put that out there. I ain't spending my money on no jersey like that. I'm not that big of a fan. But what I'll do, I'll create a custom background and I'll have his background picture behind me if he gets 1,000 yards, and I'll keep it up for about 2 weeks. That's my thing. I want the man to ball out. Yeah, I'm tough on him, but at the same time, I expect a lot out of my first round picks. So regardless of where they come from, I know I troll him, I say my stuff, but this is a guy that I want to see succeed, because if he succeeds, that means we have a chance to win. Now, if he does not, I'm going to be right on the top of his damn head. Pause. Right there. I'm going to be on top of him. And none of you guys are going to stop me. Y'all can say whatever. But at the same time, if he ball out, I'm going to give him his props too. But you're hearing it from me. It's certain guys that I don't mind for them to get the hell on. I'm okay with it. But at the same time, while they're here, I need them to ball out. And that's a guy I want to see do well. As contrary as y'all to believe it, I want to see him do well, because at the end of the day, we need to win. Regardless of how we feel about these cats, certain players on this team, we need to win. I want a division title. I want a home playoff game, and I want us to get far. I want us to get far this year, Kool-Aid. Tired of seeing these boys getting close, and they got to play and wish for somebody to lose. Like, nah, I want them boys to secure their spot, do their thing, and keep it moving. Yeah. That's how I'm feeling about it, Kool-Aid. What about you?
Yeah. Hey man, I'm feeling this. I'm feeling the same way. You know, I'm feeling the same way. Everybody pulling for Pitts to shine and go out there and do his thing. Even the quarterback. You know, hey, he really is being looked to do that. And I'm gonna put it like that. We just got through talking about the man that I thought should have been that pick at that time when we took him, Justin Fields. Justin, I thought we should have did it another way. We should have went on and got that quarterback, let Justin Fields sit behind my boy for a little while and learn a little bit, and then not be thrown in the fire and then come up behind like the procedure usually some teams doing the procedures. It was unusual to take a tight end in that rotation of need. And I know what they were trying to do. You know, I know they were trying to win right away to put somebody with Matt Ryan. And they went at it like that, but I felt if they would have did another way around and they would have wanted to put Justin Field behind Matt Ryan, let him sit there for a little while. Now now we made our decision with Pitts, and Pitts, I don't know, it would have been better with Justin Field or Pitts. And right now, Pitts ain't showing.
I'm gonna tell you
that it was better.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It was two players in that draft that I say that I think we shouldn't have passed on. Jamar Chase, that's in Cincinnati. He was in that draft, and we could have took him. And Michael Parsons is the other one. Like, I love what we did. Look, I love what we did with the pass rush. Don't get it twisted. I love this pass rush. But Kool-Aid, if we had either one of them dudes, and now you get his here, woo, that's all I can say. But I'm gonna give you my X factor for tonight. And I'd like to see a little bit more. Like I said, not Brandon Dorless. It's going to be Simeon Barrow. That's what I want to see. I want my man to do his thing tonight if he gets playing time. And that's going to be my X factor if he's on the field. But I got to go ahead and shut this thing down. We got to close up shop. The game's getting ready to start. Kool-Aid, thank you for coming through the pregame meal. Will, thank you too. We got the postgame show tonight. Do not forget, directly after the game, ladies and gentlemen, we got the post-game show. So y'all tune in. It's going to I believe it's going to be the party line. I ain't trying to host no benediction. Did that last week because of an injury, but hopefully we get this dub like Kool-Aid was saying, and we get this thing right. But thank you, Kool-Aid, for coming in. Tell the folks where they can find you at before we shut it down.
Hey, y'all can find me doing my commentary. ATL Kool-Aid Drinkers, just like you said. ATL Kool-Aid Drinkers on YouTube. Y'all just check me out. I'll be talking Hawks, also the Falcons and the Braves, and sometimes I splash in a little other comments on some other sports that going on in Atlanta. Basically, they're talking about Georgia football, anything that's going on in Georgia. I might even throw something in about high school. You know, I might just make a comment every now and then about something like that. Hey,
Thanks.
our dreams looking good. That's all I got to say, guys. Hey,
man, look, it'll be funny. Dream get a championship, and then the Falcons get one, and then the Dogs get one this year. So that's trifecta. You can't tell me nothing if that happens.
Hey,
so.
You gotta go 4, bro.
Hey, Braves got to
leave out my Hawks, bro.
Hey, no. Hey, I ain't leaving out the Hawks. I just want to see it. I don't look. I've been saying this for the longest. It's a bit of an illusion. I don't want to have my feelings hurt again. I don't want to have my feelings hurt again. But appreciate you stopping through, Big Kool-Aid. We'll catch you on the post game show later on tonight. Hey man, thank y'all for tapping in and grabbing a plate. Thank God we got y'all covered for the pregame meal. We appreciate you guys. I'll be on with the halftime report. You know how I get down, baby. I'm gonna get left so I can get right. So I gotta leave here, clean this up. Y'all leave all these dishes behind, man. I got my dishwasher in here. So we're gonna go ahead and get this thing up out of here, man. Y'all be blessed. Ghosts.